I'm Crazy Hillbilly.
And I'm old Uncle Bill over here.
And today we're gonna make some hillbilly candy.
One of my favorite things in the world. A little spicy and sweet treat.
So we're gonna get started by prepping up some of these peppers. Just want to make little rings, pepper rings.
If you've ever gotten any at the store that were already canned, about the size that you get off of those is what you need to cut to.
We got about 20 pounds of peppers here to cut up, so we're going to get to that for a little bit and we'll get back to you on the next step.
Absolutely, we'll catch you in a minute. You know, Hillbilly, this thing just is not getting it done. I don't know about you. I'm going to upgrade a little bit. What you got?
Me too. It's time for a real man's night.
Okay. All right. Let's do this thing now.
Also, I don't know if we mentioned, these are jalapeno peppers. You can make this with any kind of pepper you like, but we prefer jalapenos for this recipe. And also, if you have sensitive hands, you might want to wear gloves. You definitely don't want to go straight to the bathroom after doing this. It'll be a bad day.
Ain't no doubt. He tells you can use any kind of peppers. I will say this right now. Being a man who's tried doing habaneros, don't do it, okay? The heat builds more sharply than any other pepper when you boil it and you bring it up to heat, and it is obnoxiously hot. It is so hot that you can't taste anything. So stick to milder peppers when you're doing a recipe like this. We've got plenty of recipes that we're going to show you for other pepper dishes that you could use the nice hot ones, and they actually have great flavor.
Drop some peppers.
Alright, we're back. I'm Crazy Hillbilly.
I'm Uncle Bill.
Y'all, you may have just seen we were down aged just a little bit there. Reality is we want to introduce y'all to a couple of very special people to us.
Hey, Junior, bring me those onions over here. Yeah. This is my son, the future Crazy Hillbilly.
And this would be little Bill. This is my son. And we will be, all of us will be doing multiple videos, doing multiple things. Sometimes there'll be a crazy guy that's running our camera for us named Rusty Nail that'll be in here with us as well.
Woo! Also, you might notice the name of the channel is Crazy Hillbilly Cooking and Adventures. Today we're just sitting out here in the yard making some hillbilly candy, enjoying the day. Other times we're going to be on camping trips, cooking over the campfires. We're going to use underground pit ovens, all sorts of crazy stuff on this channel. We're going to do backwoods cooking, maybe some squirrel or some groundhog.
We'll also do live cuts, the live fish cut cooking right after we catch them as well.
And then also we make something like cordon bleu or something fancy and gourmet. You never know what Crazy Hillbilly's going to do. So next, after you get your jalapenos prepped up, I like to add a little onion to my hillbilly candy recipe. What I do is I come in here and I slice them right in half, cut the ends off, quick peel.
Some are quicker than others.
And then we just slice little half circle rings out of it. I also usually keep my onions separate from my peppers in the beginning. That way that when it comes to making the candy, when we get to the cooking process, we can make sure that we get them evenly distributed throughout all the jars.
Dump it.
All right.
Alright guys, we got everything prepped here. We got about 20 pounds of jalapeños cut. We got about 3 pounds of yellow onion. And what we're going to put in our pot here today is we're going to use 6 cups of vinegar, 8 pounds of sugar, and 2 packages of the bread and butter pickling mix. The brand we are using is Mrs. Wages. I don't know what your local brand may be, but any of them will work. Follow our recipe, not the recipe on the back of the package.
Because ours is definitely different.
So for each one of these, you want 6 cups of vinegar and 4 pounds of sugar. We just kind of visually eyeball how much liquid we think it's going to take for our jalapenos. We don't worry about leftovers or extra juice because we'll use it in delicious recipes later.
Right. So I guess it's about time to get started.
We'll start off with our 6 cups of vinegar. Or 12 cups of vinegar, I apologize, because we're doing double. 4. 8. 10. 12. Gnats are about to drive me crazy.
All right. Move along to the sugar. We need how much sugar for it?
For a double batch, we're using 8 pounds.
So literally, it's going to be exactly 2 bags.
Where's our torch? While we're mixing in sugar, we go ahead and get our propane burner started.
I had it off on both sides, so you have to turn it on both sides.
Try that again.
All right. So we need.
Go ahead and set this on the heat, start warming it up. Then we put in two bags of the bread and butter pickle mix. Now we're going to bring this to a simmer and we'll be right back with you. All right, our liquid has now come to a simmer. So now we will start to add our peppers.
You see these beautiful boys right here? Oh yeah. Now y'all understand, when you're standing over this pot, that vinegar boiling is going to put you back.
Now that we got the peppers in there, we'll bring it back to a simmer, and you'll notice that your peppers will go from a bright, fresh green to a dark. You want them to an even, consistent, darker green. We'll show you when it gets there, so it'll make more sense.
Go ahead and add a few onions.
And at this time, we'll go ahead, since we put half the peppers in, we'll go ahead and put about half the onion in as well. No longer have that vibrant green color, everything's more uniform, more of an olive green throughout. That's when you're done. And that's when we're ready to start jarring. At this point, we dip it out. We do not want a bunch of the juice in at this point. We use a wide mouth funnel, cannon funnel. And I do apologize, I do get a little bit of a hiccup at the moment.
A little bit. That's what happens when you sample hillbilly candy when it's too warm. Okay. So
I think we just pack that into the jar. Then we move on to the next. We're going to go ahead and pack one more jar. We're going to put the juice in, show you how that's done, and then we'll continue the rest off camera.
y'all, the smell is so unbelievable though. Once you get a taste for these things, all you want is to grab some. We made the mistake a moment ago.
Right now they're really, really hot. So as they cool down in the jars, when they create a vacuum, they'll suck all the sugar and the sweetness into the peppers, and they'll become more sweet and more of a sweet spice. Right now, while they're piping hot, they're a little bit on the harsher side. So now that we got these two jars right here filled with peppers, so we'll come back and we'll ladle in some of this really hot juice in.
While it's hot,
you go ahead and cap it tight. That way it creates a good seal. And these things will last for years just on the shelf in your pantry.
be careful though, when you're doing this. These jars are piping hot. So don't hold on to them too long. Don't grab too hard.
And also, after they cool down, you want to probably rinse them off a little bit before you store them, because if you're ladling them in there, you're going to get a little bit of this sugary solution on the outside of the jar, so you want to kind of rinse that clean before you put them in your pantry.
Absolutely. All right, we'll see y'all in a minute.
Concludes the video of Hillbilly Candy. We ended up with, if we had had all the same size jars, we would have had 16 jars.
So if you follow our recipe, that's what you can expect to yield when you go to do it.
If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please.
It is absolutely free to subscribe. It just lets you know when our videos pop up, especially if you click the little bell icon.
Absolutely.
check if there's any recipes that you want to see us crazy hillbillies do, please leave it in a comment below and we'll give it our best shot.
All right, y'all have a great one, and we'll catch you on the next video.
How y'all doing? We were just editing the video for Hillbilly Candy and realized that we didn't tell you that the second half of the peppers and onions were cooked in the remaining juice from the first batch and bottled the exact same way. Y'all have a good one now.